Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We are in a creative mixed media art journal, a traveler's notebook size, following the words and wisdom of Mark Twain in his book, Following the Equator. Sit down, enjoy, and let's see where we go. This is my fourth time recording this, and I'm going to try. I had it in real time. It was all about a sick dog and grandchildren and my husband having to work at home, and we can't do three things with two people, and the dog is requiring constant monitoring. The child requires constant monitoring because we tried to do jelly plates this morning while the husband was watching the dog. That went completely backfired because the husband doesn't watch the dog when he says he's going to watch the dog. And there was lots of that, lots and lots of that. This is one of the jelly plates. So I'm not going to let you hear what I was saying because it wasn't complimentary of anybody, and it wasn't very complimentary of me. So I am getting stagnant in this journal. This is way too early to get stagnant. So I went through some magazines and found some pretty backgrounds, which are these, and I'm going to try to use these. But today I decided to use one of the jelly plates that the granddaughter did. She tends to go rogue quickly, like within 5 minutes, and put all the colors together and mush them together. And if it ends up on a chair, if it ends up on the floor, that's a side effect. Look at the pretty design on the floor. Anyhow, she's a free spirit artist. So, I took one of her jelly plates that looks dank and dark and uh, decided to use it to my advantage. So today's chapter talked all about as he's pulling into Sydney Harbor. I guess it was like a continuation of yesterday's chapter as far as time, but as he's pulling into Sydney Harbor, he's talking about Australia as a penal colony for England. And it's a really short chapter. It's only like 3 pages. So, all these color combinations here I love. I had cut out letters for Sydney, and I precisely there dropped 3 of them. I can't find them, so I'll figure it out later. I'm rescuing the dog because he's barking at this point. Oh, I feel like one of those bathtub commercials. Take me away. So anyhow, I'm back. I think that was seaweed underwater magnified or something like that. That's a paper towel that they dropped Jane Davenport markers on, and I photocopied the paper towel. It's just stunning, stunning. I could do a whole journal like this. Try to tea-dye. No, I try to paint, watercolor paint, some more composition notebooks. This is a different brand, and it's geared more for little kids. Didn't work. So I have some Sydney Harbor maps, and I'm going to use one of those. I'm going to use a dark jelly plate from Bella. That is frescoes inside Turkish caves. Unbelievably beautiful. But I need a dark, I think I need a dark background today to represent the penal colony. And there I was doing a motion with my scissors there, and what I was saying was Sydney Harbor looks a lot like the layout of Lake Murray, where I live. I think Mark Twain must have been to Columbia, South Carolina. I know he was in Columbia, California, because that's in the gold country, and that's where he did Calaveras jumping frog. Is that what he called it? Anyhow, he was in Northern California a lot. He worked at a San Francisco newspaper and was in the gold country a lot, writing. So anyhow, these dark jelly plates that Bella does when she goes rogue, that is actually pretty. It's almost like fabric. There's so much paint on this paper, and it's just copied paper. But there's greens and blacks and golds and oranges, and I'm going to use that as my dark background for a penal colony, prison colony. And what little bit of talking he did, an essay he did in this chapter, was all about just the thought process behind sending people to a different country as a penalty for breaking a law. So I'm not going into that, and I'm not focusing on that. I'm just focusing on the fact that they turned it into a prison colony for a while. I don't know know how long that lasted. And the Opera House was, I think, started in 1959 and finished like in 1973 or something. So definitely way after Mark Twain. But we're talking about prisoners, and we're talking about dark and dank floors and wet floors and dirty walls and borders. So in the Sydney Harbor, and I wonder where the prison colonies were as far as in relation to, and they used them on sheep farms, it seems like. I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, oh, it's been a rough morning. It's been a rough couple days. I don't like this page, but I don't hate it. And it represents dark and prison and prisoners and breaking the law. And Bella breaks the law every time I get a jelly plate out. Every time I get one out, I think this might be the day where she doesn't go rogue. Wrong. She goes rogue. Especially if nobody's watching her, which my husband was not watching her while I was dealing with the dog throwing up. And she went rogue like in 6 seconds. She was out of here on a magic carpet going rogue with a paintbrush and jelly plates flying. Not quite that bad, but the messes after you have to clean it up, when you have to clean it up. So, deep breaths. I might be a prisoner of my own lifestyle right now, but I'm not living in a prison colony. I'm not in Australia, but I am in a pretty place that's shaped like Sydney Harbor. So, yeah. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. And I realized I could take a break from filming this and live my life, what there is of it left with this dog. But this actually gives me peace of mind. Maybe not exactly right now, but it will. And even if my wife runs off the page, so I'm going to keep filming. And unless I physically just can't. Now, after tomorrow, today for you, we do go to the vet and see how this blood pressure medicine is working. Honestly, I don't know how fair this is at this point to do to this dog. I have a huge issue with that. He's not unhappy and he's not in pain, but there is, no quality. And he had 16 great years. So I write prison colony right here and call it a day in my deep, dark, gone rogue journal spread in my creative mixed media art journal of a famous author going around the world. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow on the high seas. Nope, we're not on the high seas. We're in Sydney. Bye.